What if somebody comes like this, or like this, or like this? Is the basic question that we get most of the time when we talk to people about self-defense, martial arts, or whatever. So, this is very complicated. It's a weapon, it's an extension of your limb, and of course, this can be very dangerous. But the concept is same with your hand or with a stick or with something like this. The concept is same, and the techniques have to be a little more detailed. You have to understand body weight, you have to understand how the movement is happening, you have to understand how and when you can go towards the weapon, when you have to focus on the weapon disarming, or when you have to focus on the person. So disarming and trying to reduce the risk, all that is a very detailed, very complicated subject in itself, I would say. And the concepts are same, even if it is weapon like sharp weapon, edge weapon, or impact weapon. The concept or the techniques are mostly going to be the same. But let us not go into that detail. Let us look at the first part of this. How to escape this immediate threat. A 1 to 7 or a diagonal cut or an attack happening with a sharp object or even a stick. This is our immediate basic threat. How to save yourself from that one. It's not easy. Spoiler alert. But anyway, there are a few ways you can deal with it. And after that, you could go to disarming or trying to control the opponent, which again is very complicated. This is not beginner level stuff. But since it is interesting, let us go into it. Welcome back. As you can see, we are back at home after a long time, thanks to your prayers and also patience, because there was a big gap for this last month. Anyway, we are back with our Sri Arun Kumar, instructor of Sangukai Asia headquarters and Instagram of the country, Excellent Coaching Center. So coming to our worst nightmare, an attack with a weapon coming like this. How to deal with that? There is no other way. You have to get out of the maximum damaging area. Like sometimes in these cool tactical videos, they talk about how you have to get off the X and how you have to get off the immediate threat area. That is what they are referring to as X. What we are referring to as the main area is the place where damage is maximum. So this is the target and this is the weapon. This area at this distance is going to be what you can call as the X, or what you can call as the maximum main area. So if you are not moving away from this area, this is going to cause 100% damage. But if I am a little far away or closer, this can come down. So your aim has to be to either come forward or calculate and go back. But somehow move away from that area. Imagine these things like bullets are coming at you. This is a gun and bullets are coming at you. It is started and it's going to come over there. So that is the area of, that is a dangerous area. Move away from there. So let us be realistic now. Anyway, you are trying to get away with these weapon attacks or these very dangerous situations where a sharp weapon or a stick or something like this is involved. So what we are going to do is, first of all, be clear that you are going to get hurt. So let us try to get minimum hurt. Don't try to take 100% of the impact. Mostly in these situations, we are going to use the outside part of the forearm, because this side, if it gets damaged, there are a lot of veins and arteries that go inside. So the thing with the knife defense and all, most of the experts, what they suggest is you use this kind of a block and then go for the grabbing. Because if you get cut over here, and if you're lucky, you can continue to fight or try to protect yourself or survive the situation. But if you get cut over here, it can get serious. Similarly, this area, if it is a blunt weapon, if it is a stick or something, you can get hit, you can take some punishment over here. This one is going to cause more pain. So what we are going to do is, we are going to get in or out in a position in which you can use this as a weapon or as a shield. So as you can see, but even if it is the outside part of the forearm, and again if I am getting hit over here, it's not going to be of any use. I am going to break my hand, if not in the first strike, maybe in the next or third. So I must judge the distance and timing to get in. Getting in is more preferred than getting out. So let us see how you can get in. Because if you can see there is a weapon, if you can see it is going up, so that is the time when you can kind of go in with this shield. Of course, it is not this simple. You can't just go like this. Maybe you can use a palm strike. Maybe you can use your elbow. You can use other techniques while going inside. But the thing is, timing. You should understand when this is going up, and that is the time when you have to go in. Because most people, if you are using a weapon, most probably you are not in a Eskrima competition or Kali where they are just like, most people are not that technical and fast. If somebody is having a knife or a weapon like this, they are most probably angry or emotional, and they are going to swing hard to kill you or cause maximum damage. Damage. Okay? So instead of staying over here and trying to block, what we will do is we will try to go in and understand that in this gap when the weapon is up, you can go in. If you are not close enough for this, and if you are not confident enough for doing this, what you can do is you can go outside. But this is hard. This will take time. This will take training. Now this brings us back to the first point. This is, in the first place, this is not for beginners. But most of the time we can't go through a detailed martial art training and you can slowly build up your distance and judgment and all that. Most of the time these techniques are needed by common people. So for common people, pray to God that you don't get in a situation like this. But if you do, make sure you are alert enough to judge the distance and to know whether it is good to go forward or backward. Backward is more risky because most of the time you cannot calculate the distance or the length that can be covered with a weapon like this. Now it may look like a small stick. I can do this in this distance, but I can go behind the camera with the same weapon. So it's hard to judge how long that is going to come, and it will also depend on whether I'm going to jump, whether I'm going to move forward and all that stuff. In is better, but out can be your safety valve. Use your hand like this, keep it in a frame over here so that even if you get hit, your head is protected. And most probably you should also try to avoid your hand, wrist and all these part, because if that goes, it's going to be very painful. और क्या बोल सकते हैं, ना करो झगड़ा, क्यों पड़ रहे हो पछड़े में. But anyway, if you are going to go back, let us see how to calculate that. You could most probably be in this position, go back like this, use your leg. It is not just about jumping, it is not just about movement, it is also about pushing. See what I am doing with my leg. I am kind of pushing myself backward over here. So maximum speed, I'm not just stepping, I'm also pushing my, kind of jumping away from the position without looking back. So if I am about to do this, it can be effective, but it will take too much time. So while I am over here, I could use my leg and push back. It is going to be scary. Just movement is not going to be enough. Keep your hands up. Try to keep looking, and if needed, you could also bend down. Because anyway, it's going to have a lot of power behind it, and most probably, if you are successful, the guy misses the shot and he's off balance. Now, this is where we are going to work. We are going to work in this space, which is why I said keep looking. Now you're back. Now you can use the same technique to move forward and kind of counterattack. We are not going into disarm. We are not going into controlling the person, which is the actual way. We are going with something more risky, but it is simple for beginners to understand. So instead of trying to control the person, let's just try to counterattack, create some pressure, and then maybe run away. Good. All right. Use your leg. It's your choice. You are comfortable with punching or elbow, or you're just comfortable with pushing the person, or you could also try and take control of the weapon, which would look somewhat very dirty, something like maybe if you're lucky, maybe you'll get it, otherwise not really possible. Create pressure, maybe move forward if you have time, otherwise move back. But after once you are successful, you have to come forward. There is no option. You can't run. Running is not easy. In a situation like this, if I ask my friend to hit me, and if my position is that I will run, I don't need anything else, I will run. It's not really possible. Attack. Where do I run? It's not possible. So you have to take care of the person first. You have to either go in before it happens or after the attack, but you anyway have to move forward. Without going into complicated grappling and weapon control and pushing the person, which is actually the better solution to these kind of problems. Without going into that, here are some techniques that can be possible, that can be more practical when somebody attacks you with a weapon like this. And if you want to look cool and fancy in between a life and death situation, here is something fancy. Next. Please. I am sorry. The first course under Muddy Muscles, that is Dand Baithak and Sapati, is now going to be available on an app, Sendojitsu app, which you can download on your phone, both Android and iOS. iOS is going to take some more time. So what we are doing is, we are letting you know about this app that you can download. A lot of free videos, a lot of information about the activities, a lot of things that you can access will be over there, including the new courses that are going to come. Plus, some friends are also going to be there, some teachers are going to be there, all the classes and webinars. We are planning about an app which you can download and access all of Karate TV and Sangukai Karate's material over there. Download the app, link is in description. Bas, thank you.